I had a bit of a rough day yesterday. My mother fell and fractured her neck. Uh, she's okay now. She's at the hospital. She's stable, and the doctors are figuring out a way to heal her injury. But hopefully, she will get better soon. So things got a little bit hectic, I guess, yesterday. And I was working all day. I had to drive over in the middle of the night to make sure to send some clothes to the hospital because my dad's there watching over her. Well, basically we've all been feeling pretty sick, but I think my mom had the worst of it by getting an injury, so there's that. Anyway, let's get on with the game. So, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Forgotten Camel, and welcome to another Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator. Today's scenario, we have a group of rebels attempting to mobilize troops to a certain base so that they can amass an invasion of a certain Imperial base. Well, for the rebels, it's less of a base and more of a hideout, but in any case, the Imperials noticed a large group, or slightly large group. We'll call it a large group because there are around 620 troops over there. So the Imperials amassed a number of troops nearly twice that size. That's 1,000 Imperial soldiers and 4 ATSTs. So, let us go on and head to the battle. The Imperials have come to ambush them. So let's see. The battle's immediately underway. A bunch of Imperials are getting mowed down, but wow. That was no contest for the Imperials. Imperials just wiped the floor with them, but the rebels on this side are faring much better. They apparently nosed the ambush from behind much quicker than the ones at the front, but they are soon to be hit from the front very soon, not realizing that their teammates or their allies up ahead have been killed. It's actually quite surprising that the Imperials managed to cause so much damage to these guys. So let's take a look. So the rebels didn't have much of a chance. They only managed to take out a quarter of their troops during the ambush. So this was a very successful attack by the Imperials. And the rebels amassing or planning an invasion will not have these troops, but that invasion will still go underway. So let's go ahead and go on to the start of the invasion. Alright, well, here we have it. Around 15,000 Imperial troops against 10,571 rebels. So the Imperials over here have decided to engage a large enemy force that is amassing against their base right on the outskirts over here, because, well, there's very little, to be honest, there's very little room to defend right over there. So they've amassed right over there to attack, and right down here there is a group of Imperials who previously believed that there were going to be troops attacking from below, but it turns out they didn't. All those groups that tried to amass troops at an encampment nearby were unable to. Colonel Bob was able to take care of that. So here we have down over here 5,000 rebels and 300 AT troopers, along with another reinforcing of another 5,000 rebels and 300 AT troops. So let's go into cinematic mode and start the battle as soon as I get right over here. So immediately they are engaging. I think the rebels might be at a slight advantage because they are on a very straight slope. Never mind. The Imperials actually got the advantage. They got a lot of cover over here, so the rebels had absolutely no cover, and they're immediately slaughtered by the Imperials. That is definitely not good at all. These Imperials are just too well trained, it seems. Yeah, that was hardly fair. How do they do it? And while the rebels did manage to take out 2,300, that was very unfair, that battle. I'm going to have to start this over real quick. Alright, I did change the stats a little bit. I'm not sure that will help much, but I also replaced some of the rebels. These are rebel veterans, or we can call them rebel turncoats or something. Former Imperial soldiers that switched to becoming rebel. And down over here, the rebels shoot like 3 times as fast since they die too easily. I'm not sure if that makes things even or not, but let's go ahead and start this battle. I accidentally stopped recording. Alright, so, battle's underway. Imperials still at the very big advantage, actually. That's odd. Well, I guess there was a little bit of lag with the hitting of the troops, but the rebels did manage to take out a lot more. They took out 3,600 of them, and I was hoping this battle would go better, but the Imperials are too well entrenched in this area. Yeah, that's why they desperately needed those reinforcements that were coming along, but there were just too many interventions. Colonel Bob, I think he's a colonel. You can thank Colonel Bob for that. He didn't get promoted because of nothing, after all. So here are the rebel veterans, or the turncoats, the traitors to the Empire. Can they take these guys on, or will they die? These rebels are much more accurate than the regular rebel soldiers. But now it looks like the battle's underway. Oh, this is a really cool battle. I ought to do more of these. Now, if the rebels do end up losing again, we will take it to their encampment, where there's well, we'll say that the troops retreated or something, some survivors, and it will be a slightly large battle, but not that big since it's like the majority of them went into battle. But it's going to be like, it's hopefully going to be interesting. They are also in a very, very bad place to be for rebels, and that's my phone going off. And I don't know. It's spam phone. But it's fun to just sit around and just watch. Look at this. This is pretty cool to see. The Imperials are pushing the rebels back. Surprisingly, despite their training, they have been pushed back a little bit. Even though the rebels are much more accurate and shoot a lot faster than before, they're just getting slaughtered. But there are some very good places where the rebels are pushing together. Actually, it doesn't look like they've wow, looks like a majority of them got stuck on the walls over here. That might explain why the rebels are having so much trouble pushing. It's a pretty bloody battle. Look at that. This is a new thumbnail over here. Oh, I just love forest battles. Oh, this is just so cool. I can never get sick of looking at battles like this. It kind of feels like I'm watching one of Diplex's Heated's videos. Except his videos are a lot better than mine. They're smaller, yes, but they are much better quality. But yeah, Diplex Heated only does Men of War, so maybe it's not your cup of tea, but I love his videos. It looks like the rebels have actually started pushing the troops. That's pretty cool. Oh, just look at the ATSTs pushing on the background. But plenty have gone down, actually. Despite these ATSTs having like 100 health or so. Not 100. They got 10,000 health. Why did I say 100? But these ATSTs are supposed to have like 10,000 health. And it's a little bit annoying that they keep falling to just regular old laser fire. You know. But that's life, I guess. Wow. So it looks like those troops got overwhelmed. Where are the reinforcements? Oh, they got quite a few reinforcements coming in. Although in small waves at the moment, but it looks like they will overwhelm the rebels. Wow. Look at how many troops are trying to get up there. They're coming in small waves, hence the reason why the rebels are able to hold out for so long. And the troopers are trying desperately to push them back to their encampment so they can trap them. And amazingly, these rebels are very, very well spread out. Oh, yeah. I gotta take screenshots. I should take screenshots. This is so cool. I can't stop saying it, but it really is pretty cool. This one lone trooper. Holy cow, what's being shot at? Oh, that's amazing. As soon as one of these show up, everyone starts shooting at those things. I guess they focus on the most dangerous. It seems like they're focusing on the most dangerous. Oh, just look at the. Oh, that was pretty amazing. That was like a face-off against. Like 4 facing up, it was like they were talking to each other. So, and the, I'm sorry, I'm just too excited. I'm talking too fast and I'm not thinking. But it looked like the stormtrooper was trying to tell him to surrender. And before, dude, there's like 4 of us. You're surrounded. You'll lose anyway, dude. We're still gonna kill you anyway. Oh, that's very interesting. So the rebels are still pushing the Imperials back. They might push them all the way back down to the hill and take the base. I would be surprised if they won. I would be really surprised. So the rebels have taken out. They only have 3,000 troops left, whereas the Imperials have almost 7,000. Less than 7,000 at the moment. It's pretty bloody. I think that the Imperials will come out on top, though. Technically, the rebels didn't really have any real victories until or really big victories until the Death Star instant. After that, everything went downhill for the Imperials. But before that, the rebels could only attack small bases. It was like a small battles going on until things escalated much bigger than before. So we're at the point where the rebels are losing most of the time. So instead of the rebels focusing on winning, I guess what they are trying to do is sabotage the weapons manufacturing and ships and such. And we'll say that this scenario, the rebels are trying to sabotage a base that is researching something. That rebel is way deep into enemy territory. What is he doing? Oh well, he finally got shut down. I mean, that's what happens when you run so deep into enemy territory and just don't shoot. Wow. So the rebels are still pushing these guys. There's so many cool things going on in the background. I love this. It's already nightfall too. So the rebels still have unsuccessfully reached the Imperial base. I don't think they will, actually. It's just too far away. The Imperials are just... they seem endless. After all. That's pretty... there's still so many Imperial troops. So let's go back down over here, see how things are going. Oh. That's not good. It appears that the rebels are falling to their death. Why? I hate it when that happens. Yeah. That's not good. At this rate, the rebels will lose to falling to their deaths. I wish they would learn not to do that. But it looks like a majority of the rebels' deaths have to do with this. I swear, so many more battles would win if the rebels weren't so bad at traveling. It's amazing to look at all these bodies. It looks like a major battle happened over here, which is really cool. In this battle over here, just seeing so many get slaughtered to laser fire. And the battle is still going underway. It doesn't look as if the rebels will be able to push that far. In fact, they're just pushing and not shooting, surprisingly. So the rebels keep pushing these guys back pretty far. And, well, now they're just taking a huge volley of blaster fire on the right side over here. Every time they try moving forward, they're just cut down by the lasers. It's... oof, that's very bloody. Looks like they're getting a lot of collateral as well. So, this looks like it will be a failed attack attempt, and... I was hoping that they would at least make it a little bit close to the base, but too many of the troops got killed, and the Imperials will have a victory over here, and they will push them all the way back down to the camp. So there are only 300 rebels left. Less than 300 now. They're just getting slaughtered by that blaster fire going on over here. Surprisingly, quite a few of these Imperials have died as well. They've been pushed back quite a bit. They're being pushed back all the way down to the hill, actually. But this is pretty much it for the rebels. They can't amass enough troops to take them on anymore. The stormtroopers have way too many troops, and they can't fight off enough of them. So now the rebels will be pushed into retreat as soon as they lose this battle. They still have like 18 troops. This is more like a bonsai charge than anything else. Okay, so that guy finally goes down and just falls straight down the hill after getting shot. So, now it is up to the Imperials to eradicate the rest of the rebels on this planet. And if they can't get them in time, then the rebels will have escaped. So if the rebels manage to fight them off, we'll say that the rebels escaped and the Imperials were unsuccessful in taking them all out, but it will still be a victory for the Imperials. So now the troops have been pushed all the way back to their encampment. The Imperials have completely cut off their retreat, and the only chance for the rebels to get away is to fly out. And the only way they can do that is if they take out enough of this wave of troops, which is around 6,000. Or not wave, there are 2 waves of troops, and there are 6,000 of them amassing to take them out. If they fail to take out all the rebels, then those rebels will successfully escape and be able to fight another day and convince other troops to fight for them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start the battle. Well, it would seem right now the rebels are taking laser fire. I did not expect them to get hit so soon. These rebels are in a lot of trouble because they have little to no cover, whereas the Imperials over here, they're just clambering on down that hill, aren't they? Maybe I overdid things. Truthfully, I just didn't know how things would turn out. I expected them to do a little bit better. I didn't think the Imperials would be able to run down this hill over here, but it turns out they can. And so the rebels will just be completely slaughtered. It appears that the Imperials only needed a small amount of troops to take these guys on. That's not good at all. Sorry, someone was calling me. Yeah, it seems that the rebels will be they're all going to be killed. There's no doubt about that. They completely lost this battle. The Imperials won. That's unfortunate, but life happens. I had high hopes for you, rebels. I really did. I expected you to take on thousands of troops, but you didn't. Such a major disappointment. I should have put Bob at the head of the battle to lead the troops into victory. But he's a tactical soldier after all. You can't even see where the lasers are coming from. The forest is just so thick. Oh, that's just pretty amazing. All you can see is lasers, and people are shooting where the lasers are coming from. That's what it's gotta look like. Yeah, those rebels will all be killed. Holy cow! Some of the other troops from the second wave is actually engaging them from behind. Wow, these rebels never stood a chance. As to how they thought that they could win this battle, I have no idea, but that's well, that's a victory for the Imperials once again. But can they keep this up? Who knows? Maybe we'll find out next time on the next video. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and good day.